QRS complex represents the depolarization of ventricles. P wave represents atrial depolarization. Tricuspid valves are AV valve present between right atrium and right ventricles. Bicuspid valves are AV AM valve present between left atrium and left ventricle. Semilunar valves are present at the openings of aortic and pulmonary aorta. Fibrinogen forms fibrin strands during coagulation. These strands forms a new network and the meshes of which are occupied by blood cells. This structure finally forms a clot. Antibodies are derived from gamma globulin fraction of plasma proteins, which means globulins are involved in defense mechanisms. Albumin is a plasma protein mainly responsible for BCOP. In human RBCs, nucleus degenerates during maturation, which provide more space for oxygen carrying pigment. It lacks most of the cell organelles, including mitochondria, so respires anaerobically. In a hepatic portal system, hepatic portal vein carries maximum amount of nutrients from intestine to liver. Reduction in the thrombocytes, means platelets, can cause a clotting disorder, leading to excessive loss of blood from the body. Serum is a plasma without clotting factors. It never clot. Blood pressure in the pulmonary artery is more than that in the pulmonary vein. Urea produced by liver and carried hepatic vein. In ECG, P wave represents the depolarization of atria, which leads to the concentration of both atria. T wave represents the return of the ventricles from excited to normal state. The QRS complex represents the depolarization of the ventricles, which initiates a ventricular contraction, starts shortly after Q and marks the beginning of systole. The wall of left ventricle is the thickest of all the chambers. It supplies oxygenated blood throughout the body. Aorta arises from left ventricle and the musculature is best developed. Blood contains red blood cells, white blood cells suspended in plasma. Lymph contains white blood cells, especially lymphocytes, floating in lymph plasma. Serum is the part of blood that is like water and that contains antibodies which fight against disease. Blood plasma is pale yellow liquid component that contains water up to 95% by volume and dissolved proteins 6 to 8%, which contain serum, globulins and fibrogen, and also glucose clotting factors, electrolytes that are sodium, Na plus Ca2 plus Mg2 plus HCCO3 minus and Cl minus, etc. A special neural center in medulla oblongata can moderate the cardiac function through autonomic nervous system ANS. Neural signals through the sympathetic nerve part of ANS can increase the rate of the heartbeat, the strength of ventricular contraction, and thereby the cardiac output. Parasympathetic neural signals decreases the rate of heartbeat, speed of conduction of action potential, and thereby the cardiac output. The blood group O was O. The person having O blood group is universal donor. It lacks both antibodies A and B, thus do not cause agglutination or clumping of blood cells when transfused into person with any of the four blood groups. Blood group AB is universal recipient because the person with AB blood group has both A and B antigens on RBC but no antibodies in the plasma. Streptokinase (SK) is a protein secreted by several species of streptococci which can bind and activate human plasminogen. It is used as an effective and inexpensive thrombolysis medication in some cases, myocardial infarction and pulmonary embolism. Bundle of his is a network of cardiac muscle fibers found only in the ventricle wall. The bundle of his in a continuation of the AV node gives off a left bundle branch at the top of the interventricular septum and continues as the right bundle branch. It is a part of a conducting system along with other parts like SA node, internodal arterial pathways, arterioventricular node, Purkinje system. SA node, impulse, atrial pathway, AV node, bundle office, Purkinje system, ventricular muscle. Blood type O has no antigen but types of antibodies A and B. The person with blood type O is universal donor. Arteries are blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart toward the different organs. They generally contain oxygenated blood. In pulmonary artery, which contains deoxygenated blood. The blood flows in an artery under alternate increased pressure and with jerks.